The Sam Darnold story is terrific. I cannot stand Seattle, but it's so cool. It's so cool to see this guy's journey. I mean, he's absolute warrior. Every single opportunity in his career has taken a sideways turn. Every single one. And you just feel so sorry for the guy. As you say, in the sports sense, you're like, God, I just want it to work out. But if they kill Drake May, I'm going to be so pissed that we didn't get to see Josh Allen give it a shot. Oh, welcome back, my partner, my handsome co-pilot, Evan. Good to see you, my friend.
Hello. I'm so happy to be back.
Yes.
Not happy to be back in New York, but I'm happy to be back on the show.
Evan was traveling at the expense of Wonder Fan. He was sent to the PGA show. Pretty exciting, down in Orlando, Florida. He's a Florida man for a week.
Yep. Florida man for a week. It was beautiful. Sunny and 75 almost every day. I get home to New York. I had to change my flight because of this big snowstorm, and it was negative 40 wind chill.
Boom. Welcome back. Good to have you back in the Arctic. It could have been a great playoff game if we had New England hosting the Bills in Foxborough. We could have seen that snowstorm. We could have seen maybe a historic level of snow in a playoff game, perhaps. But we did not get that because we got Broncos Patriots, which was in Denver. Yeah, we got the Stiddy party. Today's episode of the Wonder Fan Show is sponsored by the Wonder Fan app. It is the best and fastest growing sports fan rewards app out there. And it's about to get a whole lot better. Best turning better is like, yeah. Guys, in 2 days, we are launching the tickets distribution aspect of Wonder Fan. You can literally earn free tickets just for watching sports on the Wonder Fan app in 2 days. It's crazy how far this app has come and how many cool things you could do on the Wonder Fan app. And in 2 days, it's going to be a one-stop shop for every sports fan for every season. It doesn't matter.
You would be stupid not to get this app. The app is free. Free. You get stuff for free for the things you're already doing for thousands of hours a year.
You also, you'd be dead too. There's dead people can't get the app.
Yeah. Or that.
Rest in peace to them.
Yep. R.I.P.
Too bad. But for the living world, it's pretty great, especially if you have no incentive to watch certain games. Well, now you do, because you can work your way towards getting a free game on Wonder Fan, free rewards. As always, same vouchers, same gift cards, same rewards just for watching sports. If you have no skin in this Super Bowl like I do, the Wonder Fan app is your best friend. And this Super Bowl, I think, of the 4 possible Super Bowls we could have gotten, I think this is technically the second best. This is the second best because it could have gotten a lot worse. Anything involving Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos, who already, even if it was Bo Nix and the Broncos in the Super Bowl just means yucky, gross, barn burner football.
Yeah.
But with Jarrett Stidham, it's just a diluted version of that. He could have had any Broncos combination. Those are wiped out thanks to Drake May. However, I think this game still sucks.
You really think that Stafford would have been a better game than Darnold in JSN?
Yes, because the Rams defense is a fraction of what the Seahawks defense is. You have to put in perspective how well Matt Stafford played and how much he carved. The Seahawks defense is incredible. That is an amazing defense. And that's why I did not want the Bears to beat the Rams. Because as soon as I was a very simple-minded lizard. After the 49ers lose, and this is for anybody that has a team in the postseason, you feel the exact same way. When your team's in the playoffs, you're hyper-focused on your team. You're kind of looking around the playoffs going, okay, looking on the other side of the bracket, you're keeping tabs, but you don't really care because it's just like who you're playing until you're done. And the second your team's out, all you want to see is good, entertaining football. That's what you're rooting for. You just want to be entertained. You don't want to see shitty games. And so when I was watching the Rams-Bears game, and first of all, I called that game to a T. I said the Bears are going to play just awful football until the fourth quarter, and then you're going to see the best football you've ever seen. And then I don't know what happens after that. It was actually a lot better game throughout the 3 quarters prior to the fourth quarter. That Caleb Williams throw was so on time, so necessary, so perfect for him. Like, so unbelievably on cue. However, the Rams stood a much better chance against Seattle. The Rams-Seahawks game was an incredible game. If they didn't muff that punt, we'd probably see a Rams-Patriots Super Bowl.
Yep. Yeah. I think had the Bears won that game, I would think Caleb Williams in that throw would have gone down as one of the best moments in playoff history. It still did, for sure. But the fact that they lose the game, like,
it's going to be like that Josh Allen Mahomes divisional game, because that's what it was. It was a divisional. It wasn't even wild card. It was the one before the championship, and so you're like, in the moment, wow, this is insane. You're still not close to the Super Bowl. I definitely was wrong about the Bears all year. This is not the recap show. We will have like a show where we just talk about how wrong we were and how right we were. I waved the white flag about the Bears after the Packers game, because that was just magical. Watching the city of Chicago come alive after being lifeless against the Packers, that was pretty cool. And all of my slander, it was completely null and void. I wasn't hating the Bears like I was comically against the Rams. I just didn't want to see anyone get killed in Seattle. And I felt the Rams had the best shot. And they did. Of course, until they didn't.
Until they did. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that was my sentiment. And I feel like I stood right by my sentiment. Unfortunately, there is a very real possibility that Seahawks could win 55-7 again. And and if they squeeze the life out of the Patriots, if the Seahawks win 55-7, I will feel cheated by the officials that we didn't get to see a Josh Allen, Drake May AFC Championship, because the Sam Darnold story is terrific. I cannot stand Seattle, but it's so cool. It's so cool to see this guy's journey. I mean, he's absolute warrior. Every single opportunity in his career has taken a sideways turn. Every single one. And you just feel so sorry for the guy if he wasn't making hundreds of millions of dollars. As you in the sports sense, you're like, God, I just want it to work out. But if they kill Drake May, I'm going to be so pissed that we didn't get to see Josh Allen give it a shot, because let's be honest, Drake May will be back. This is a very, very okay Patriots team that could easily bolster up. This is probably Josh Allen's last shot. Maybe, unless of course he goes to the NFC and does something crazy.
I don't think the Bills will ever let him go.
I don't know. Like it doesn't take much. You know, you look at you look at the Milwaukee Bucks. I know this is a different sport. They've already won, so the urgency isn't as, prevalent. But if you go through a couple of coaching changes and things aren't working and you're still not winning, you're not getting any younger. At some point, you might just pick a destination in the NFC, a nice place you want to live, with an opportunity to win. Like, I got my eye on a couple teams, like Arizona Cardinals. I'm really worried the Arizona Cardinals are going to do something screwy in the next couple of years, getting a Joe Burrow or a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen, because Scottsdale is a great place to live, a lot of good golf. You're in my division, and if you're just perpetually awful and you come in with a bunch of money and a vision and a quest to get one of those guys, all of a sudden you're a contender overnight. That's my biggest fear.
I think there would be riots in the streets if Josh Allen ever requested a trade or even got traded from the Bills.
Would you stand in his way? I mean, the Bills are probably the most cursed organization in football.
I personally wouldn't stand in his way because, hello, the New York Jets.
Yeah, hello, wait a minute. Yeah.
Every Buffalo fan might be jumping off Niagara Falls that night.
Yeah, okay, that's way different than, like, they're probably begging him to stay, but they would all understand. They would understand, but then they'd have nothing left.
Yeah, they're different. Who they got? Keon Coleman with the cookies.
Oh boy, yeah, that was tough. The chewing too. There was so much wrong with that clip. You're like, oh, everything just. The more I find out about how Buffalo operates, the sorrier I feel for Josh Allen, because he is literally propelling them every single time. He's maximizing their potential. That's not a good football team. And the fact is, like, what Drake May has done this year, if Drake May wins the Super Bowl or keeps it close with Seattle, like it's like Jesus, that was fast. And that kind of puts all the Josh Allen stuff to rest. You're like, okay, like it took him 2 years. And by the way, if Drake May wins if he keeps it close / wins, the Patriots easy schedule argument, that's disintegrated. That's nothing. Like, right. You're beating Seattle, the best team in football. Like, you did it. You won everything.
I think this matchup, although it obviously is a Super Bowl, it has to be AFC versus NFC.
Yes.
This is the New York Jets versus the New England Patriots.
Wow.
All the Jets fans right now are basically cucks of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
And we are saying, Sam Darnold, you go out there, you go ball, and you beat Drake May. Because nobody in the AFC East, I don't think anybody in the NFL, other than Patriots fans, want to see the Patriots in a Super Bowl again.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
We need Sam Darnold to win by 40.
Yeah, but so what? So we can watch bad football I hate that. I guess, okay. I mean, it's kind of like last year. Remember when the Eagles curb stomped the Chiefs?
Horrible.
I guess you feel good that the Chiefs got killed on the biggest stage, but then you turn around and you see who killed them. It's Philly. Awful. That sucks. That's like that's probably the worst thing that could happen.
Okay. I think you're a little biased because they're in your division. They're a division.
Right, yeah, obviously.
Universally,
yes.
Everyone hates Philly.
Correct. Yes.
Whereas only the NFC West hates Seahawks.
No, you're right. And I also think that, seeing the Patriots back in the Super Bowl, it has reminded me how insufferable Boston sports fans are.
Yep.
So I have no problem with the Patriots getting squashed. I'm just saying, as someone that loves watching good football, like I don't need to see the Patriots get killed. I can still enjoy their suffering even when they lose barely.
I would be down for that, because now that you bring it up, it would be nice to see Sam Darnold, do all that stuff and beat him by 40, have 5 touchdowns, whatever. The viewing experience. I left at halftime. I go to my brother's house every year. I left at halftime of that game just to get home earlier.
Yeah.
Last year, nobody cared about that game. The game was hard to watch. So I'm with you there. I will give me 7 to 10 points.
7 to 10 points is fine. Because let's face it, Drake May, he's coming back. This is year 2. He's a 20-year guy in New England. This is probably the worst the Patriots will be for a while. Maybe they won't have the same record, but I'm just talking like in terms of power. Like, do you know their starters? Like, their team,
4 of them.
I have their roster up here, and this is not a diss on any of these players. I'm just saying, like, this is a Super Bowl roster. Obviously, Drake May, quarterback, Ramondre Stevenson, Stephon Diggs, fraction of Stephon Diggs in Buffalo,
Mhm.
Keyshawn Butte, Mac Hollins walks through the games barefoot.
Yep.
And then Hunter Henry, great, solid tight end. It's a good defense. It's a good defense, right? It's a good defense. Good, not great.
Yep.
You know, there are holes in there. But you haven't really been tested by any sort of offensive fire because everyone you've played in the playoffs, it's just the problem. It's just really worked out for the Patriots, and that's annoying, right?
They lost to the Raiders in week 1.
I know.
How I understand it was week 1. How the fuck did that happen?
Like the Raiders are so awful. They're so terrible. What they need in the draft, I've never seen this. It's every position. You know, when Mel Kiper's like, they need a quarterback. No, it's just every single, like the one position they don't need. I didn't see a K for kicker because I think Carlson's solid.
Running back and tight end, they're probably okay in that front.
Until of course they curse them. So yeah, every position except RB and tight end and kicker. The Raiders had they had 9 different letters. That's terrible. And you lost to them in Foxborough too. Raiders had to get on a flight, go to Boston, lose. You lose to the Raiders, and then you close your eyes, you're in the Super Bowl. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts. This kind of leads me to another question. Who do you think is in more hell right now? Jets/Vikings fans or Titans fans?
Oh, Jets/Vikings fans for sure. Titans fans are just happy to be in the conversation because
football team.
I mean, have you ever been to a Tennessee Titans game?
I've never been to the game. I've been to their stadium though.
Yeah, so it's right off Broadway. Like that's probably the most undeserving place to have, to have a stadium because there are millions of people that come to that street every single weekend that have absolutely zero interest in going to a game because they're just going to go to the honky tonk or they're going to go to the 10,000 different 5-story country singer bars there. Yep. And they're like, yo, is there a football game going on? Who cares? And that's like, I love growing the game, and I love that Nashville is a growing city. I don't want to piss off Nashville people, but like, I don't even think they care. I know they don't care. Because there's so much happening down there. If you were to put the Tennessee Titans in like Knoxville or like someplace that there's nothing but football, near the mountains, I could buy that they would care. They don't care. Like having the Raiders in Vegas, nobody cares. The people that are at that game are traveling from all over the country anyways.
Yeah.
That's my point. And it's not that the majority of Raiders fans are still in Oakland. They're still in the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. But I will say, losing Vrabel, they probably just didn't appreciate how good they had it while they had it and who Vrabel was doing it with. Like, Vrabel was putting Ryan Tannehill in the AFC Championship game. He had them as 1-seed contenders. Those are 2 separate seasons when they're in the AFC Championship, and then the following season they were the 1 seed. Yeah. Granted, they lost. They lost their first game as the 1-seed host, but that's unbelievable.
It is. And to see what he's done with the Patriots, and this is his first year.
That's why I'm like, the Patriots are going to be back. Vrabel is a fantastic coach. He's obviously a player's coach. He's so good at making the most out of what he has, maximizing potential. The Patriots are going to be back. That's what pisses me off about this Super Bowl is it just feels too quick. And if the Patriots get killed, this is not the last we'll see of Drake May. I have no problem with Drake May. I think he's pretty likable. He's a relatively quiet guy.
He's very quiet. I've heard him talk like 3 times.
And his voice threw me off. He was so deep. And I guess it's just because I never heard him speak. He's just fine. He's just a really good quarterback. He's sneaky mobile, very efficient, no problems whatsoever. In fact, the Drake May lover stuff is probably the most. Yeah, it's fantastic marketing he did not ask for. It's great marketing, but yeah, this guy's fine. I have nothing. We have plenty of time to get sick of Drake May. I'm sure eventually the Bake May, is it his wife that makes the cookies?
Yep.
Just how football works. I know right now, she is probably the sweetest, nicest woman that we could find. I mean, she is probably the most unproblematic, purest, angelic soul in football. If the Patriots do this for the next 7 years, she'll be one of the most hated individuals ever. And it's not even her fault.
Nope, it's her husband's fault.
Yeah. Like, the Bake May stuff is so wholesome. It's so sweet. It's so nice. I fear that if Drake May goes on like this 7-year dynasty, people will hate her. They'll hate her. They'll hate him. That's football. There's so much time to get sick of Drake May. And I'm like, this was way too quick.
Too quick.
Far
too quick.
Manufactured.
Almost.
Yes. So going back to the Super Bowl itself, if the Seahawks get killed, then every single argument about their schedule being cake is back. No, I say if they get killed, then it's like, yeah, they had this cupcake schedule. Like if the
Seahawks get killed or the Patriots.
If the Patriots.
If the Patriots get killed, then 100%.
Yeah,
sure. It'd be like they had a basically free pass.
Yes,
to just go to the Super Bowl.
It's either or, and no debate. If the Seahawks, if it's a close game, schedule talk is irrelevant. Great season, they'll be back. Get used to his face. If the Patriots get killed, we're looking at that schedule. We're looking at that catch that we still don't know what a catch is.
Nope. And
we're pissed that we didn't get to see Josh Allen versus Drake May at least provide a buffer during the middle. Just to interrupt this fruitcake of a schedule, because that's what it was. It truly is objectively the easiest schedule we've ever seen for a Super Bowl contender in the history of keeping percentages of strength of schedule. It is the shittiest schedule we've ever seen. It doesn't matter if they win because you beat the best team. But if you lose, that's all we're talking about.
And it will be when they do lose, which give me 13 points.
Yeah. That's almost like getting killed, though. Like, I need to see it come down to the last possession for me to feel good
about the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an even better question. If the Patriots lose, but they lose by a touchdown or 6 points, do we include the schedule discourse in that?
No. If it's a one-score game the whole time, I don't like when it's 2-score and you backdoor last minute of the game to make it 1-score. You were getting dominated all game, right? That's what Notre Dame did to Indiana, and we lost by 10, but it was not a 10-point game. It was like a 24-point game the whole time. That's domination. I need it to be an honest 1-score game. Doesn't have to be a shootout. I don't mind a rock fight if it's close, if it's interesting. The Rams-Patriots Super Bowl was really boring because you knew they were never going to lose. You were like, the Rams couldn't do anything. So you knew the Patriots were going to win and it was going to be a slow death. But I don't see that happening like at all. I think Mike Vrabel will have Drake May prepared. I'm just unsure if it will be enough because this Seahawks defense, this is I hate the Seahawks. I hate the Seahawks. They call themselves the dark side. They haven't allowed a touchdown in the fourth quarter all playoffs. They haven't allowed a touchdown in the fourth quarter since January 3rd. That's really cool. That's incredibly cool.
That is really cool. And the other defense that they faced that was even remotely close to the Seahawks defense was obviously the Texans. But, of course, they won. But you got to remember, C.J. Stroud had that defense on the field for about 45 minutes of that game. He couldn't hold on to the ball.
Everything he could to make sure that he was going to Cancun. He was not missing his flight.
He wanted a vacation.
He went off of that field. That was ridiculous. Especially after we got that Texans-Steelers Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure the Texans would. I was like, hey, don't be surprised if this is the end of Drake May's little cakewalk.
And I had them winning.
Yeah. And C.J. Stroud's like, hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah. I'm going to make this the worst performance you have ever seen, buddy. 2 weeks in a row, not just one.
That was crazy. I feel, and that's the other thing too. You know, the Texans were probably the hottest team in football for 6 or 7 weeks to finish the season. And so the Patriots having to play the Texans, like on paper and looking back at it, you're thinking, yeah, no shit. CJ Stroud had 1,000 turnovers and they really had no chance, especially after Nico Collins was injured. Mm-hmm. They were never going to win. And you're like, oh, this nothing burger of a schedule. No, like the Texans were a contender. People had the Texans as a sneaky dark horse favorite to win it all. That's where this schedule argument goes away. But of course, if the Patriots get killed, then yes, it is because they weren't ready. They needed. I mean, of course, they played Jarrett Stidham. Of course, they didn't get a chance to play Josh Allen the third time. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. I really wanted to see Josh Allen make the most of this Mahomes-less, Lamar-less year. And for him to lose to Bo Nix is one thing, right? If that's just like, oh, I lost to Bo Nix bested me. I don't think that's necessarily what happened. Like, we still don't know what a catch is. Can't define it. The Cooper Kupp third down conversion, not only was he probably short.
He was definitely short.
That ball was out. So
yeah.
the reviews, what the instant reviews? What are they called? The express?
Expedited replay.
Yeah, expedited shipping, self-checkout reviews that they have now.
Useless.
What boundaries do they have? Because
none.
They spent more time the amount of times that they spend on like a 2nd and 5, squabbling amongst themselves. I've seen like 5 different 4th and 1s or 3rd and 1s, 3rd and inches just get expedited. It's like, nope, no question.
Yep,
it's over. What? We're not even going to talk about it? Not even worth the review? A booth review with humans?
I mean, if we want to talk about 4th and 1s, Drake May, he was short.
It could have been short. I know we're not in the business.
Jim.
I don't know, fellas. Definitely getting the Mahomes treatment, Jim. I don't know, Jim. I don't want to be in the business of like the who's who and the what ifs and the what could have beens, but like that, Jim. I don't know. I just don't like how inconsistent these Amazon Prime expedited reviews, assisted especially when you pair that the inconsistency of when these come in and why they're just law, and you fuse them with your favorite, the broadcast assists from the former officials. That's death by rocks. That they're just throwing rocks at you.
just the blatant contradiction that Gene Steratore had. Like, I enjoyed these dudes coming on and being like, okay, here's the exact like technical analysis of why things are the way that they are. But it literally took him 2 seconds to go from, yeah, that is clearly a backwards pass. That's why they ruled it intentional grounding. And then they're like, oh shit, yep, that is 100%. Oh, he said it was a forwards pass, intentional grounding. Then he goes, oh yeah, 100% a backwards pass. Like, you can't even argue that. What are we doing?
I don't know. And I don't know why they're here. I used to believe that they acted as sort of a bridge from what the officials are thinking, what they're saying to the fans. That used to be the thing, right? Mike Pereira used to come in and say, hey, this is what we're looking at. This is what we see. And this is why we made the call. Remember when he was the first one and we're all, this is great. We really like this. This is good insight. It was still kind of fishy because it's not like they have any power. They're just telling you why the decision was made. It has morphed into just, I agree with the call on the field. And,
every time.
I think and that's it.
Every single time, without fail.
Yeah, they just become this puppet for what is already being called. And you're like, okay, well, I guess no, you're wrong, but who cares? You can't make that up. Not to mention, they go to these guys like every single close play now. Yeah. And it's like, one of the other broadcasters, the color commentators, the Tom Brady's, the Tony Romos, these NFL vets, they can speak for themselves. They don't need to defer to Gene Steratore. If you're Tom Brady, NFL royalty, were heralded as the best mind in football, you don't need to go to Dean Blandino to see what he sees on this 3rd and 1. Tell it yourself. That's why you're there. That's why you work 1 day a week, 16 weeks out of the year.
Just give your opinion. Like, we don't need these guys anymore. Like I said 3 times already, I used to like these guys coming in and giving this, because that's back when they would actually disagree with the call on the field sometimes. It just tells me they are objective in their analysis.
Right.
But now with that backwards pass, the blatant contradiction, they're puppets, and I think they just have to be involved in the broadcast somehow because these broadcast companies are paying them.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, what would you define as a catch? This is our last minute, by the way. How would you define a catch in the NFL?
It's hard to give it one specific definition, but I think
they sure can. It's just whatever they need is a catch.
That's right.
What would you define a catch to be?
You catch the ball. You catch the ball. You have possession. I do like the football move thing.
Okay.
I like the football move, one or two moves upfield. If it goes to the ground and you bobble it a little bit, I think that should still count as a catch.
I think I agree. I think the biggest come on, bro, was Calvin Johnson. That play, the Lions-Bears catch, it was almost an irrelevant game because those Lions teams were awful. But, I mean, he caught it. He had 2 feet. He then held it with one hand in the end zone. He's had it. It's been caught. It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
And then he hit the ground, and then it came out. Like, I don't like how they're looking at the process to the ground as like this 30-minute ordeal between catching the ball. Like, sure, I guess if you board your flight after the game and then you hit the ground, then maybe it's not a catch. Jesse James against the Patriots. Remember that? It was Steelers-Patriots. Steelers were down 3. They score with like 30 seconds left. And Jesse James, he had like this tight little, it's like this little slant, and Big Ben hit him, and he caught it. And as he goes, breaks the plane.
Yep.
He hits the ground. Ball comes out. I think, listen, if you get in the end zone and there is some catch, like you hit your feet, you get your feet in, doink, or you have the ball and you go over the line. As soon as you cross it, it's got to be it's done. It's over. This whole
That's where it becomes complex.
Yes.
Because the Jesse James catch, like, there's no one way to perfectly define a catch, because that one I would say is close. Like, he didn't survive the ground.
Survive. That's the term. Surviving the ground. And since when is the ground so goddamn important in all this?
Here's like my definition of it.
Sure.
So in this catch specifically, the Jesse James catch, he goes across the goal line. The ball clearly comes out of his hands. But for my thesis, which they would still call incomplete, is if you cross the goal line, it smashes on the ground, but it's still in one of the hands, or you still have like kind of control of it, that should still be called that. If it pops blatantly out, then no, incomplete. But I don't think you need to have it pinned down like there's glue and a magnet on your chest for it to be considered a catch.
I just, you have to understand that gravity and physics, they take part in this equation as well. And for the ball to not move a fraction of an inch at all with the ground, you're asking an impossible thing. Yes. The ball can move a little bit because you're hitting the floor of the earth. That's all the force. Impossible. It's the force of the gravitational pull of the earth. And to say, you have like Stewart go, wait, there's movement. Yeah, no shit, there's movement. It's physics. It has to move a little bit. Surviving the ground. They all get up. They all survived the ground. That kills me. The other thing that kills me too, toe taps. So you get a ball on the sideline, you have your toes come in.
Yep.
And then you fall out of bounds. Everyone's like, that's a catch. And I totally agree. But if your toes hit first, but then your heel comes down, out, it's out of bounds. And doesn't that literally contradict itself?
It does.
Because if you go toes, you get two toes in, doink, deet, and then you go out of bounds. The next thing that goes out of bounds is like, I don't know, like you take a step out of bounds, like the famous Jordy Nelson, Aaron Rodgers toe tap, or Santonio Holmes, doink. But if you toe tap, but on that same toe tap, like half a second later, then your heel hits out of bounds, it's not in bounds anymore. What's up with that?
I think we need a full overhaul of the rules. Not like a full overhaul, but like more detailed definitions for these exact scenarios that happen. I said this in the video.
Say that one more time.
We need more detailed analysis of these situations that happen.
Oh, like a written constitution that is followed, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean,
explanation, defining. We're never going to get that. Never going to get that.
Well, like, think about the situation we have with the Bills, with that interception, the Bills Broncos. That needs to be somewhere in the rule book. Like,
yeah.
What it happens once every 2 years, let's say, or however often it happens. You need to have something in there. Every time something happens, you have to make a rule for it, and you have to be super specific on what the hell happens, because that is just, we're fully divided here.
If that jersey was red, and the letters on the jersey said Kansas City, that is a catch. They're not going to say he was picked off if that is Patrick Mahomes throwing that football. That is a catch, and Mahomes is jogging up there. At the very least, it's warranting a review.
Yes.
Just to go,
hey.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey. Yeah.
What do you mean that's an interception?
The offsides, when I think it was Kadarius Toney, his foot was offsides. That is probably the only time that the refs actually betrayed the Chiefs. It would never happen again. They would pick that up, or if it has to go to a review, they would get that call.
Mm-hmm.
Bills don't get that love.
Nope.
Never. Nope. And that sucks. That's what a catch is. We have to define our rules. A catch is whoever is the recipient of said catch, it will then go up to New York to decide, do we need them, yes or no? And
what does this do to our marketing budget? What does this do for ratings?
Because that's the worst part about the whole thing. Going to close the loop, and this is the last thing I'll say. If Bo Nix beats Josh Allen that game, and then Bo Nix jogs home and then practices the next week and then plays Drake May, Bo Nix versus Drake May, I feel fine. I feel perfectly fine. But you did all that just so that Bo Nix, and you had no idea, but you soiled your own product for no reason, just so that Bo Nix would get hurt. So it would be Jarrett Stidham versus Drake May in the AFC Championship.
Perfect.
What was the point?
A nice 10-7 ball game is what everybody wanted.
I mean, I know the tie goes to the runner in baseball, and in this situation, shouldn't the tie go to the receiver just kind of, automatically by default? Who cares that it doesn't? No problem. But you go through all this. You go through all these hoops. You're jumping through all these hoops. You got all these former referees coming out. These analysts are saying, no, this was the right call. This is the right call. For what?
Wasn't the right call.
Also, that Jarrett Stidham can go put up 7 points. Puppets. Yeah. Bullshit. All right. That's it for our show today. Remember, folks, use the WonderFan app. You can earn rewards just for watching sports. And in 2 days, it'll change your life.